There's something very special about the next deck, guys. You know what that is? I'll draw your attention over here to how many entries are left on the wheel. Once we get to 39 entries, we'll be halfway there. All right, so welcome back. So without further ado, let's spin the wheel and see what league we are playing next. Humans. So Humans is an aggro tribal deck. It's mostly white, but there are other colors besides. So we of course have Aether Vial, Noble Hierarch on one to ramp faster, Esper Sentinel, which is a human, and Champion of the Parish, which grows with other humans. Then we have Coppercoat Vanguard, which gives all our other humans Ward 1 and +1 power. We have Thalia. Thalia's Lieutenant, which puts a +1 counter on all the humans, and it itself is also a Champion of the Parish. We have Jarina, Dauntless General, to give our humans hexproof and indestructible and get rid of graveyards. And then from the new Lord of the Rings sets, Boromir, which is a 3/3 with Vigilance that has opponents, whenever an opponent casts a spell, if no mana is meant to cast it, counter that spell. So it's one half of Lavinia, and the other half is sack it. Creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn. The ring tempts you. Adeline, one Imperial Recruiter to go find whatever you need. Kessig Malcontent, which burns the opponent for your human count. One copy of Reflector Mage. And then also from Lord of the Rings, Horn of Gondor, a 3-mana legendary artifact that says when it enters, you create a 1/1 human, and then you can pay 3 and tap it to create X 1/1 humans, where X is the number of humans you control. The lands are 4 Horizon Canopies, and then 4 of each of these rainbow lands: Cavern of Souls, Secluded Courtyard, Unclaimed Territory, and then 3 basic planes. And then the sideboard, we have Hallowed Moonlight for graveyard decks and Cascade decks, 1 Kataki for artifact decks, Sanctifier Onvek for scam, black graveyard decks, etc. Lauren of the Third Path for artifact and enchantment decks, 1 copy of Meddling Mage, 1 copy of Gadok Teague, which is not a human, but which can be useful in various matchups, and then 4 copies of Chalice of the Void. So let us jump into a league with humans. All right, round 1 on the play with humans. We have only a single land, but we have Aether Vial, so I think it's keepable. All right, land, Aether Vial, pass. Opponent plays Snow Plains, Giver of Runes. I'm guessing it's Hammer. All right, Aether Vial, take this up. All right, I'm just going to run out the Esper Sentinel immediately, so that if they play any drums or whatever else, then it triggers them. Urza's Saga. Opponent plays Drum, which triggers the Sentinel. Pays for the Drum. All right, Aether Vial, take up to 2. Another Aether Vial, so let's play that. And then, what do I want to play? I guess if I attack them and they block with the Giver, that's fine. Attack them, block with the Giver, I Vial in Coppercoat Vanguard, they trade. Yeah, that seems fine to me. So let's attack. They are blocking. Okay, activate Vial, put Coppercoat into play. They trade off, gets rid of a creature on the board that's allowing them to tap Drum. All right, play Ornithopter. They can make a Construct and then make another Construct. All right, so I probably take this one up to 3. And then do what? Get Adeline into play. So let's tick them both up. All right, still didn't draw a land. So, if I attack with the Coppercoat, then they can just Construct, block, and then we trade with this Coppercoat. I can't violin any 2-drops at the moment, so it's probably better to just pass the turn. And unfortunately, if they have Pithing Needle in their deck, they can Needle our Aether Vials, but I don't know if they main deck Needle. All right, let's just pass it to them. How many tribes in Modern are better than humans? Probably Goblins and Merfolk. If you consider Elementals a tribe, then Elementals. All right, trigger, making a Construct. All right, we have to Vial now. Use the Vial, put Boromir into play. All right, another Construct. So the other Constructs will be 5/5s. All right, they just got Hammer. All right, if they're shocking that in, that means they have Pure Steel. Yep, equip Hammer. I think we just take the 15. There's no reason to chump here. All right, Rings, or Aether Vials rather. So this one goes up, and then this one doesn't go up. Still haven't drawn a land. Jeez. All right, well, I don't have any reason to do this right now, because I can just Vial both at instant speed. So yeah, pass. Opponent plays Steel Shaper's Gift, so now they just go find Shadow Spear their guy. They're Shadow Spearing a Construct. Oh, they have another Hammer? Okay, yeah, that's good enough. All right, sideboarding. Chalice is not actually good against them. I can Meddling Mage name Hammer. They can still get it off the Saga, but that's fine. I definitely want Kataki. Hallowed Moonlight for 1 Construct is not particularly good. Want Lauren. And then what do I not want? Thalia and Esper seem kind of weak here. Jarina's Graveyard doesn't matter, so we can cut all of that. And then like 1 Thalia. I guess Chalice on 1, the problem is that they can still get their hammers with Saga and by Stone Forging them in. But it's probably good to some degree. So I'll cut Thalia, put 2 chalices in. All right, submit. On the play for game 2, we have still just 1 land in Noble. That's not good enough. I will mull this. All right, this is much better. So keep and put back, honestly, probably Coppercoat. All right, done. And then we're going to go Secluded. It's a bit awkward that we have Kataki with 2 artifacts, but name human here, name or cast Aether Vial. The classic Kataki and artifacts combo, yeah. But I can afford to pay them, especially if I have Vial in play. Snow Plains, Drum. All right, take up Aether Vial. All right, play a land, cast Chalice of the Void for 1, go. Ornithopter, another land. Strict Proctor. What is this? All right, Vial up to 2. All right, Unclaimed Territory, name human. And then I'm going to cast Adeline. And then let's just Vial in Kataki now. All right, pass the turn. All right, Ornithopter dies. Drum dies. They're just not going to pay for them. Another Strict Proctor. All right, so all of these abilities go on the stack. So I would like to pay. And then I would like to pay. And then I would probably like to put Vial on 3, although I'm not sure. Yeah, let's put it on 3. All right, there's Boromir. So Horizon Canopy, Combat, Swing with Adeline. They just chump this. All right, let's Vial in Boromir. They take slightly more damage and then pass it back. Plays Pure Steel. I don't know if I want to draw with this Horizon Canopy, but I think I do. So sack Canopy. All right, it's a basic plains. That's fine. Triggers. All right, pay the 1. Do not tick it up. And then pay the 1 here. All right, Champion of the Parish, which we can't cast because of Vial, so just play a land. I guess draw immediately to see if I draw a 3-drop. It's another Adeline, so just attack here and here. Blocking here, blocking here. So they're just going to put everything on Adeline? Sure, I'll put Pure Steel first, and then go to damage, and then just pass them, and then Vial in Adeline. All right, we won. So Chalice seems to have put in work that game, although it's much worse on the draw. Thalia is also worse on the draw, though. So I think this is probably fine to just run back as is. All right, submit. Game 3 on the draw against Hammer. We have still obnoxiously only 1 land. So let's say I keep this. I go land, Noble Hierarch. But then if I don't draw another land, I'm way too far behind. Yeah, okay, so mull. All right, 2 lands is good. So keep this and put back... I want to go turn 1 Noble, turn 2... Man, I really don't want to put back a card from the hand here. I guess one of the Sentinels. All right, they play a Giver of Runes and an Ornithopter. All right, name human, cast Noble Hierarch, and then pass the turn. We play Ink Moth, play Strict Proctor, which shuts off Reflector Mage, and Thalia's Lieutenant. All right, so let's just play Coppercoat plus Esper Sentinel then. Human, play Esper Sentinel, play Coppercoat, and pass. So next turn, I can play Thalia's Lieutenant and pay for the Strict Proctor. Play the Bolt land tapped, play another Strict Proctor. Okay, now I can't pay for it. They're going to attack for 1? Oh, it has flying. Okay. That does not look like it has flying. I have to pay 4 per Strict Proctor, so I can't get any triggers, really. I don't even have any attacks, because I can attack with the Copper... I guess, okay, I can attack with the Coppercoat, give it Exalted, and you can just give her to protect his guy. I guess I'm going to attack. Swing, Exalted trigger. All right, so they block, and then he's just going to give her pro-white. Sure. Oh, so what do I do here? None of my triggers work. Do I just try to flood the board? I guess I'm just going to flood the board. What am I doing here? I'm having to choose a target? Okay. Then no payment on any of these. And pass it back. What Hammer Time decks are playing Strict Proctor? Ginger Brute. Opponent activates Ink Moth. Swings. All right. We take a poison. What should I Meddling Mage? So let's see. I have no good attacks, I guess. I can attack with Reflector Mage, and then they just pro-color it. So, what's the worst card they can have? Like, I guess they can play Hammer and then, like, Pure Steel it up. So I should probably just name Hammer. All right, Meddling Mage. The classic Strict Proctor Sigarda's Aid combo, yeah. All right, play Meddling Mage. Maybe I should name Pure Steel. Nah, let's just name Colossus Hammer. All right, and then, yeah, I can't pay for any of this. I can pay for 1, but not both. So I guess what I'm going to try to do is try to just draw more lands until I can pay for Thalia's Lieutenant. Opponent plays Giver of Runes and animates an Ink Moth. All right, so they're on the chip me away for 1 poison a turn plan. All right, there's another land. I still have no good attacks. Pass the turn. Animate Ink Moth, so now they can animate both Ink Moths. So faster clock. All right, we drew an Esper Sentinel. So I can actually pay the trigger on champion. All right, pay it. And pay it. A whole 5 mana to get 1 counter on here. Alright. I still have no good attacks because they can just keep Giver of Runesing their guys. But I'm a 3-turn clock with these Ink Moths. Alright, Ink Moth, Ink Moth. Go to 6 poison. Not a land. It's another card that we can't pay the triggers for. Well, I'm multiple turns away from being able to pay the triggers on this, so... God, okay, how do I attack into here? So, if I just attack with everything... He has so many good blocks because he has 1/3s plus Giver of Runes. What has actually good attacks? Nothing? Just nothing does. I can try to draw a card, but then what can I even draw? Everything has triggered abilities that can't work. Lauren, I can't get the trigger on that. I guess I could get, what, Kataki? That he doesn't even have to pay for these artifacts? Yeah, just nothing. So I'm just going to die in 2 turns. So, all right, play this. All right, still no good attacks. Pass the turn. All right, so 2 more Ink Moths beat down. We go to 8 poison, and then even if I draw a land, they have so many blockers that it doesn't matter. All right, well, that's the game. All right, on to round 2. All right, round 2 on the draw with humans. Well, 7 lands is not going to cut it. Mulligan. This will cut it, so keep this, throw back. Horn of Gondor is real slow, and I don't know what I'm playing against, so Recruiter might be important. All right, throw back the Horn. Spirebluff Canal, Ragavan. Well, even though it's a Ragavan, I think it's still correct to just throw Aether Vial into play first. Yeah, all right. Cavern of Souls, name human, play Aether Vial, pass the turn. Because even if I play Esper Sentinel, they can just play another land, kill it, and attack. Fetch Scalding Tarn, get an island, take 2 from the monkey. They exile Thalia, which they're clearly not going to cast. Yep, I suspected it was a turn 2 Blood Moon when they fetched immediately. So now it's just game over. Because now my lands don't tap for anything. I can Violin Esper Sentinel, but who cares? Alright, pass the turn. So I'm going to Violin Esper Sentinel and try to block them. Expressive Iteration. I checked 10 Hammer Time decks on Goldfish. 9 out of 10 of them had no strict proctors. The last one had 4 in the sideboard. Yeah, sometimes you just run into random weird stuff. Iteration. Spirebluff Canal exiled. Plays Darcy. Plays a Bauble. Alright, now I guess I'm just going to Violin Champion to block, and then Violin Esper next turn. Another Bauble, and their Baubles don't match. Shameful. Alright, crack the Baubles. Tag with Ragavan. Alright, Vial. Put Champion in. Block. Alright, upkeep, ability on the stack. I think I have to just Vial this in now. So the Baubles resolve. So let's just activate the Vial, put Esper Sentinel into play, and then tick the Vial up to 2. Alright, basic planes. So now we might actually be back in it. So let's just play Coppercoat, get this up to 2 power so that they definitely have to give us a card, and then pass. And the next turn I can just play Recruiter and Vial in a 3-drop of some kind. Probably Adeline. So they're bolting it and they can pay for it. They can pay for all 3. Shouldn't they have to pay another mana? Oh no, they're bolting Coppercoat. Gotcha. Alright, so we take 3 from Darcy, go down to 15. Alright, let's put this on 3. Drew an Esper Sentinel. Let's just cast Recruiter. Alright, so just grab Adeline and then Vial it in. Activate Vial. Put Adeline into play. Then go to combat, attack with Sentinel. They take 2, go to 17, and then pass the turn. Opponent plays another land. Attacks with Darcy. We can't block. Alright, they had no plays. Do not tick up the Vial. Alright, well, Secluded Courtyard, I guess. And then just play Esper Sentinel. Then go to combat. Swing. Alright, opponent goes to 7. Pass the turn. Alright, somehow we got there. So, let's see. Sanctifier Onvek is pretty much unkillable. Chalice of the Void seems great. And then what to cut? Kind of everything in our deck is good against them. This is slow, though, so we can cut that. The Kessig Malcontents, we probably don't need to rush them down either, so we can probably cut that. Recruiter is slow and bad. And then what else? Champion of the Parish is also kind of mediocre. It dies to Unholy Heat at almost every point in the game. So this might be fine. Would they bring in... I guess they'd bring in EE for this matchup, right? But bringing in Gadok Teague just to counter that also seems not great. All right, submit. Once again, 1 land. We will mull. Mulligan into... Okay, 2 lands with Vial and Cavern is great. So keep this and bin what? Horizon Canopy. Gives us the most action and gives us a basic plains. All right, done. Lauren for Blood Moon, maybe? Maybe. All right, Ragavan. So once again, I'm in a position where I want to just run out Sentinel on turn 1. We just drew a Horizon Canopy. Okay, Cavern, name human. All right, this time I will just run out Esper Sentinel. Pass the turn. Land, Unholy Heat trigger, and then their fetch pay for it. No, they're just not going to pay for it. All right. Well, we drew Sanctifier on Vec, so that is fantastic. Ragavan exiles Coppercoat Vanguard, which they're not casting. All right, well, I'm just going to run out Sanctifier. Go ahead, opponent. They are fetching in response, casting Stern Scolding. You can't counter this. All right. All right, so they can't kill this except with Dress Down, basically, or EE. Ledger Shredder, playing DRC off the treasure, which triggers Ledger Shredder. They surveilled Blood Moon into the yard. Or no, they connived Blood Moon into the yard. And then they have no good attacks. Another Thalia's Lieutenant, that's pretty good. All right, so let's just go Vial, Coppercoat, pass. Vial, cast Coppercoat. Yeah, it triggers the Ledger Shredder, but what are you going to do? Putting a land in the graveyard. All right, pass to you. Play Bauble, trigger DRC. Put a land in. Play another land. They attack with Ledger Shredder. All right, Bauble. And then these go on the stack. They get their Bauble draw. Then we'll take Vial up to 1. Another Noble, eh? All right, so cast Thalia's Lieutenant. No, let's play a Noble first, then Thalia's Lieutenant. All right, then Thalia's Lieutenant resolves. Trigger on the stack, activate Vial. Put the other Noble into play. Triggers the Lieutenant and then still gets the counter. And then let's swing just with Sanctifier. Double Exalted triggers. All right, take 6 unblockable damage. End of turn, they fetch. Get an island. They do nothing on end of turn other than fetch. Cast EI. They put the card on the top with the Surveil. All right, looks like we win. Okay, on to round 3. Here's a fun little tidbit. Humans actually used to be one of my favorite decks. This was way back when I was playing Mantis Rider. All right, round 3 on the draw. We have 1 land, that's not gonna cut it, mulligan. All right, I guess that'll cut it, not very well though. Put back Unclaimed Territory. Sacred Foundry. All right, we're playing Burn, boys. We drew an Unclaimed Territory off the guide. All right, I don't think I can really afford to wait around on the Vial. Maybe I can. All right, Cavern, name human, play Aether Vial. Because I'm not going to block the guide anyway. Pass the turn. It's weird how a lot of the cards in Modern Humans are in Pioneer and a decent few are in Standard. Yeah, there's a lot of overlap in Humans with Pioneer. Reflector Mage is on top. Opponent suspends Rift Bolt, skewers us. All right, Vial goes up to 1. We draw Reflector Mage, so let's play another one of these, name human. And then I'm definitely putting Thalia down. So the question is, am I putting down Esper Sentinel or Champion? I think I put down I think what happens is I put down Champion. They both become 2/2s. Riftbolt unsuspends. They'll target Thalia, pay 2 mana for that. And then if they don't have another 1 mana burn, I can trade with the guide. All right, activate, put Champion into play, play Thalia, and then pass it. So Riftbolt unsuspends. They have to pay 1. So they burn Thalia, obviously. And then if they don't have more burn, I can just block. Thalia's Lieutenant, I will trade. Take less damage. Opponent plays another land. Fetches. Roiling Vortex. All right, so with this trigger on the stack, I'm pretty sure I'm vialing an Esper Sentinel. Because I'm going to put it on 3, and then I'm probably playing Reflector Mage. So, all right, activate Vial. Use this, put Esper Sentinel into play. Then we take 1 from here. Then Vial goes up to 2 counters. All right, well, Thalia's Lieutenant. Yeah, I'll just still play Reflector Mage. So play this, name human, play Reflector Mage, and pass it back. And now I've got to try to race their Vortex. Lava Spike, trigger the Esper Sentinel, paying it. We go to 9, Bolt Dust to 6, then the Vortex triggers. All right, these go on the stack. We go to 5. I'm not putting another counter on Vial. All right, so land, human, and then go Thalia, Lieutenant, Violin, Thalia. So cast Thalia's Lieutenant, trigger on the stack, activate Vial, put Thalia into play. All right, attack. Opponent goes to 8, and we are taxing them with our Thalia, but it's going to be quite the race. So if they can 2 1 mana burn will kill us. Or 1 Boros Charm. All right, we got there. So versus burn, definitely Sanctifier Onvec because they can't kill it. Definitely Chalice of the Void. Horn of Gondor is way too slow. Imperial Recruiter's too slow. What does Jarina do exactly? Just humans gain Hexproof and Indestructible. Well, it's kind of a protection spell. Boromir stops Rift Bolt. Kessig races them. So what's bad? Nothing really. I guess I don't want to have multiple legends of these if I don't have to, and I can cut one of the Thalias or one of the Adelines. Maybe just both Adelines when I'm on the draw. Nah, that can't be right. Maybe just one of the Boromirs. All right, submit. On the draw against Burn, this hand looks fantastic. Turn 1 Vial, turn 2 Chalice on 1. Opponent mulls to 5. Sacred Foundry, Shock, Lava Spike. All right, Unclaimed Territory, name human. Play Aether Vial, go. Goblin Guide. Swing at us. Adeline is on top. Tick Aether Vial up to 1. Play Horizon Canopy. Cast Chalice for 1. Go. Opponent attacks us with Goblin Guide. Sanctifier on Vec is on top. We go to 12. All right, Violin, Noble Hierarch. Draw Aether Vial. Go up to 2 counters. Opponent is fetching in response. They're going to Searing Blaze Noble probably. Yeah. All right, Searing Blaze Noble. That's fine. Go up to 2 counters here. Drew Sanctifier. So let's just go Thalia plus Copper Coat. That seems good. Yeah, let's do that. So activate Aether Vial. Put Copper Coat into play. Cast Thalia. And then pass. So now Thalia is double taxing them. All right, Aether Vial. Put this up to 3. Drew Champion of the Parish, which I can't play through Chalice. So, let's just Vial in Adeline. Vial in Adeline. And then combat. Swing here. Make a 2-1 attacking human. All right, trading with the human. They take 3 and go to 14. And then even though I take damage from this, I think it's still better to just play Sanctifier. All right, pass the turn. Because I'm pretty sure this is lethal next turn. It's 3, 9, 11, 14, 16. Yeah, it's lethal. They can't even cast Deflecting Palm with Thalia in play, so yeah, let's just attack with everything. All right, burn goes down. On to round 4. Round 4 on the play with humans. We have 2 lands, champion into Thalia, and then we just need a 3rd land for all the rest of this. This seems fine. All right, unclaimed, name human, cast champion of the parish, pass the turn. Opponent plays Urza Saga on turn 1, so probably Amulet. Yeah, Amulet. All right, well, Horizon Canopy, play Thalia, attack for 2. Saga goes up to 2 counters, and then we get real pushed in next turn when they get another Amulet. Also, Thalia is not really taxing them. Yeah, Dryad, play a land. All right, so we cannot really attack anymore. Well, I can't play a 3-drop, so let's just play Aether Vial and pass, I guess, and then we're just going to die next turn. All right, Aether Vial, go ahead. So now our opponent gets their 2nd Amulet, has a bounce land in hand, which they can play twice, so they have 9 mana. And then here it goes. Summoner's Pact, Cultivator Colossus. All right, so even if I don't die on this turn, they're going to draw so many cards and have so much mana. Yeah, okay. That's good enough. And then Valakut's going to trigger a bajillion times. All right. So Lauren, Gadok Teague, is this useful? Mana value 4 or greater can't be cast. No, that's not. Meddling Mage, that's probably it. I guess Kataki taxes their amulets, so that's maybe useful. What's not useful on my side? None of the Graveyard Hate is good. The horns are way too slow. So I can bring Kataki in. Chalice for 0 so Summoner's Pact can't be cast. Maybe I do want these horns. The taxes on all these creatures do not really affect them. So I'll cut 2 of the Thalias. All right, submit this. On the play, we have Land Vial. We have like some amount of damage, but no actual interaction with them. Well, I'm not going to throw it back just to try to sideboard for Lauren. So I will keep. And then I don't have the time to play Aether Vial. Opponent mulls to 6. All right. Courtyard, name human, cast Esper Sentinel, go. Opponent plays Cavern of Souls, naming Giant, and then Amulet, and we draw a card. All right. Reflector Mage is okay. All right. Territory, name human, play Coppercoat Vanguard, attack for 2, pass it back. Opponent plays, no. Growth Chamber, make 2 mana. All right, they have 3 total. They're bouncing the Cavern back to their hand. They're playing Arboreal Grazer, putting a Cavern of Souls back into play, naming Giant, and then they're casting a map and paying for it. Okay. We drew a Horizon Canopy, and then they're mapping for another Simic Growth Chamber. All right, well, as much as I want to play Malcontents, let's just not. Let's just attack, swing, swing. They block one of them. Go to damage. They go to 16. Then I guess I'm just going to run out Esper plus Vial, or do I just play Esper, hold up Horizon Canopy to draw a card? Probably just do that. Esper, play a land, go. Like at this point, Vial is just way too slow. So may as well try to find something else useful. Amulet. And then we draw a card. We draw another card, but it's going to be too late because now they get to 6 mana. Yeah, there's the Titan. Yeah, give it haste, get a bunch of more mana. Yeah, there's just no way I can win from this because I would have to go what? This also gets Vigilance as well, so it's a blocker. Okay, they got it. What was I going to draw? Champion of the Parish? Yeah, that doesn't cut it. All right, on to the 5th and final round. All right, round 5 on the draw. All right, triple Noble, Esper, Thalia with 2 Caverns. I guess I'll keep it. All right, what are we playing against? Misty, passing to us. All right, well, Cavern on human, play Noble, and then pass the turn. Misty, do nothing, lets me believe that it is Living End, but there's other things it could be. Opponent fetches. Zagoth Triumph. Okay, so it's elementals, which means if they untap and play Run in 6, we're in deep trouble. There's a land. All right, they're not fetching, so I guess it's not Run in 6. Fetching in the end step. Land. Leyline Binding or Noble, sure. All right, well, let's just Cavern, name human, run out both these Nobles. More mana for next turn. Pass the turn. Opponent plays Steam Vents, Shocked In. Casts Fable of the Mirror Breaker. All right. Planes, and then I can go Thalia, Esper. I can go how much? I have 5 mana. I can go, Esper, Thalia is probably the best move. And then attack with one of these Nobles. So attack with the Noble. 2 Exalted triggers. And then cast Esper Sentinel. Cast Esper Sentinel. Cast Thalia. Pass the turn. Oh, so much taxing. Opponent discards Minamo and a Breeding Pool. Fetch with the Misty. Get a Forest. So this could be Omnath. All right, attack. I will block with Thalia. No. Instant Speed, Treasure, and Solitude. Okay. So they're Solituding Thalia before I can block. Yeah, okay, so no blocks. So this becomes a 3/3. All right, so it's Thalia's Lieutenant, then Malcontents. Cast Lieutenant, trigger, get all these counters. And then this will become a 4/4. So swing with Esper Sentinel. No blocks, they go to 9. Cast Malcontents. Target you. They go to 3. Fable flips over. Opponent plays the Ring. Well, at least we get to draw. Draw with the Ring. So now they get to start Fabling Solitude. Unless they attack with it. Well, if they're going to attack with it, then I'm just going to block Solitude to get it off the board. All right, they're up to 6. Back to us, presumably. Yes. All right, so I can play Gondor and activate it. Name human. The alternative is to play Boromir to protect the board. Probably playing Boromir is correct because I can always Gondor next turn. I don't know. They have to have another ring, right? All right, so just play Horn of Gondor. Makes a human, and then I guess we just pass it back. All right, ring. They go to 5. Draw with the ring. They're going to attack with both. So do they have... I guess they have Fury maybe, but then why wouldn't they just not attack with this? All right, I will block Fable. And take 2, go to 16. Opponent casts Supreme Verdict. Really? Really? All right, they can pay for one of these. We draw with the other one. So I guess it was correct to run out Boromir last turn. All right, Verdict. Play this, name human, play Boromir. Pass the turn. The ring is at least killing them. Draw with the ring. All right, so now they must have another ring or Omnath. All right, they have Omnath. Fetch land, trigger. They fetch, grab a Sacred Foundry, Shocked In, get some mana, cast Leyline Binding. All right, well, sack this. And they spend the rest of their mana to play Teferi and bounce our Horn or bounce Leyline. Bounce the ring back to their hand. And a Delighted Halfling. All right, so I can what? I can Reflector Mage, bounce Omnath, and then what? All right, human, Reflector Mage, bounce Omnath. They plus Teferi, and they can just play the ring again. Fable the Mirror Breaker, make a Shaman token, play another Fable. I'm surprised they didn't just play the ring again. All right, activate Horn, drew Coppercoat Vanguard, so let's play that. But then I don't have any good attacks, so I will just pass. All right, both the Fables go off, discarding Ring Omnath. That's surprising. Do they just have like a bunch of extra copies of them? Second Fable, discarding Misty Omnath. Opponent plays a third Omnath, and then they will presumably play the ring this turn. Fetch land, go up to 8. No, they're just not going to. All right, so block here. Fetch. So now what is the plan? Play Fury, get a bunch of mana. Teferi, so a new Teferi. Okay. All right, new Teferi. Ticking down on Coppercoat. All right, we'll just make a bunch of humans in response. Coppercoat bounces back to my hand. Opponent casts Fury, and then is going to kill Reflector Mage and 3 tokens. Or just all the tokens. Not sure why not killing Reflector Mage. All right, well, Cavern, name human, play Coppercoat, pass the turn. So now both of these Fables flip. Teferi goes up. Omnath trigger. Yeah, 6 cards in hand. Plays Run in 6. Bolt Coppercoat. All right, make tokens. Coppercoat gets bolted. Beseiju the Horn. All right, I think there's just no way out of it now then. because next turn they could start copying Fury. Yeah, okay, that's it. So, want Lauren because they're playing Leyline Binding plus Fable. And Gadok T can stop the Ring and Leyline Binding from coming down. But that's it. So what do I not want? Reflector Mage is pretty weak in this matchup. Imperial Recruiter is fine, but kind of slow. All right, let's get rid of that, and let's get rid of one other thing. Let's go with one of the Adelines, I think. All right, submit. On the play, game 2. All right, this looks fine. We'll keep this. Cavern of Souls, name human, play noble, pass the turn. So next turn I go Champion of the Parish Coppercoat, or Champion of the Parish Thalia's Lieutenant, one of those. All right, land, probably Champion Coppercoat. Champion, and then play Lieutenant next turn, or play Boromir, one of those. Play Coppercoat. All right, 3-2 Champion, 2-2 Coppercoat. This is warded. Opponent gets Zagoth Triome, Sacred Foundry, plays Leyline Binding, binds the Coppercoat. All right, pass back to us. Ooh, let's do that. Lauren, destroy the Binding, get back the Coppercoat and trigger Champion again, and then attack for 6. Solitude, and they can pay for it. Exiling Teferi. No, they're exiling Coppercoat. All right, so smack you for 5, you go to 12, and then this is back to 4, so they can, Fury it? Rogrin, just passing it back to us, it looks like. All right, I need to get Boromir on the board now before the sweeper comes down. So Boromir, trigger Champion, combat, swing, swing. Opponent takes 7 to 5, pass the turn. And then I've got Boromir to protect from a sweeper. Leyline Binding. So they're binding this, so they almost certainly have a sweeper next turn. So sack this now. Choose a creature you control to be the ring bearer, this one. Teferi. And then they're going to bounce this guy. Yep, bounce Champion back to hand. All right, end step, I need to draw some more cards. So it's Lauren, Cavern of Souls, name human, and then I can play. So this is 3 power with Exalted plus Thalia's Lieutenant, or I can just kill them with Malcontents, right? So combat, swing at them with Lauren. All right, they go to 2, cast Malcontents. Target you. All right, success. Go to sideboard games. So let's see, this is probably fine. Adeline is worse on the draw, so I maybe just want Recruiter. All right, let's go with that. We only have double basic planes and can't even play anything. Mulligan. All right, keepable. So we'll keep this. What am I putting back? Honestly, probably Thalia. What deck are we playing? We're playing humans, and we're in the 5th and final round against elementals. I want to keep Aether Vial. I want to keep... Maybe I just don't keep Aether Vial because I need to... It's like if I play Champion on turn 1 and they just run in 6, kill it. That's so bad, though. All right, so Gadok T stops Leyline and it stops Supreme Verdict, so I definitely don't want to throw that back. So maybe I just don't have Thalia. All right, opponent is mulling to 6 as well. Misty Rainforest, pass over to us. All right, Horn of Gondor is good in this matchup, so land, Aether Vial, go. Opponent plays Sacred Foundry, they have Domain online, they can now Binding if they want, run in 6, all right. Get a land back. So tick Vial up to 1, then play Horizon Canopy, and then play Gadok Teague, and then pass it back to the opponent. Another land, fetch, tapped Rogrin, run in 6, pick the land up. All right, Vial in the Champion on the end step. Vial goes up to 2. I was hoping we'd draw another land there, so let's just go with, Vial Thalia in, and then just attack run in 6 for 4 damage. That seems like the best course. All right, activate Vial, put Thalia into play, trigger the Champion, combat, everything at run in 6. What are my thoughts on Pop or EDH? I have very little thoughts on that. That seems like a sub-genre within an already existing genre. My thoughts on all of those niche formats are basically that, hey, if you like playing those formats and you have a group that you can regularly get together with to play that format with, that's fantastic. But for a lot of these casual formats, it's kind of like if you're going to go to the shop and play a casual format, then everyone has an EDH deck, but not necessarily everyone has everything else. All right, we're getting Omnath, right? Yeah, Omnath trigger. They don't have the ability to play another land this turn, at least. Run in 6, ping our Thalia. Sure. All right, back to us. Put Aether Vial on 3. All right, well, that lets us get Horn of Gondor out, so let's do that. So let's go Horn of Gondor, and then I make a human, make the Champion bigger, but I still don't have an attack. I guess I do have an attack, right? I would be perfectly fine trading with Thalia here, or trading with Omnath here. So swing. Okay, obviously they're not blocking, so let's just Vial this in now to get more damage. Activate Vial, put in Boromir. Trigger, they take 4. We're protected from a Wrath, even though Gadok Teeg is also protecting us from a Wrath, but this protects us from Fury as well. Not sure what you're sorry about. No need to be sorry. All right, so decent board here. I'm shutting off Leyline Binding and Verdict, and this is protecting us from Fury. So we get punished by the Ring, by Solitude. Yeah, Teferi's also decently good against us. Next turn, I get to have Lauren with the Vial plus Horn of Gondor. All right, obviously trigger Omnath. Go get more mana. Temple Garden tapped. All right, getting the mana. Opponent casts Solitude, and this does not give us Hexproof. All right, Solitude, what's getting hit? Gadok Teeg, sure. So Gadok Teeg gets hit. Now Binding's back online. If they cast Binding, I imagine they'll do it on the Horn. Maybe they just do it on Champion as well, though. Okay, Binding. What is getting hit? Not that I can respond anyway. They're hitting Boromir. All right. Vial, do not tick it up. All right, so let's just play Esper Sentinel. Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, I shouldn't have played that. I needed to hold up Horn. Oh, well. I can still Vial Lauren in, at the very least. All right, Champion goes to 5. And then attack with the Champion. Swing. I imagine they do not want to lose their Omnath in combat. All right, no blocks. Take 5, go to 9. And then I'll just Vial in Lauren to get this back either on end step or in response to damage or sweepers. All right, combat. No blocks on the Solitude. Take 3, go to 17. They go back up to 12. Omnath trigger. Fetch. All right, mana. Now what will be done with it? Opponent casts Supreme Verdict. Let's see if they pay for Sentinel. They do. Cast Vial, or activate Vial. Put Lauren into play. Target Leyline Binding. Get Boromir. Activate Boromir. Choose a Ring Bearer. Champion. All right. Verdict kills your guys. My guys survive. Opponent cast another Omnath. Trigger. They've already played a land this turn, so they can't do it again. All right. Vial, no tick-ups. We drew a Vial. So now I just, let's see. If I swing with Champion of the Parish and they don't block it, I make 4 humans. So it does 11. So that's 11, 12, 13, 1 short of lethal. I can't use my mana on anything. I guess I can draw with Lauren, right? To see if I get a 3-drop. All right, so combat, swing with everything. Swing all. Obviously block there. No, not blocking there. Blocking Esper Sentinel. If you block Esper Sentinel, you're dead. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, no, they're 1 short. All right, so let's draw. All right, I got Noble. That's fine. Activate Horn. Bunch of more triggers. And then they go to 1. All right, so they can still gain life. So they're not dead to fetching. All right, Omnath triggers. Goes up to 5. Casts Leyline Binding. So they'll bind Champion or Horn. Bind the Horn. And then Solitude, eating Champion of the Parish. Yep. So even if I attack, they can just block, gain 3 back. All right, so Vial, no using it. We drew Secluded Courtyard. All right, so first things first, let's draw with the Canopy. We drew a land. Okay, that's not good. So human, Courtyard. I can play Noble, and then what can I even do with that? I attack with everything. They go block here, block here. They gain 3, so 3 of these are negated. And then I only actually get 1 damage in. That seems atrocious. All right, so let's play Noble. Let's play another Aether Vial, and then I'll draw an end step with Lauren. All right, they fetch. They're going to gain life back up to 8. We might actually clock them as well. Land, ring. Okay, yep. Draw with the ring. Who's the ring bearer, or did it die? The ring bearer was Champion of the Parish, and it died to Solitude. So Renin 6, pinging Lauren. All right, so I have to draw now. Why can't I activate this? I would like to activate this, please. Oh, I can't activate it because of the ring. All right. Attacking with Solitude. Okay, I'll trade with that now. They can't just keep gaining life off of this thing. Oh, they have Bolt too. All right. They're at 11. Okay. Aether Vials go on the stack. All right, which one is this? That's the one. Okay, this goes up, and then this one doesn't go up. Well, we drew a useless land, so I have to swing everything at Renin 6 to get it off the board. Everything at Renin 6 except Noble. We lose one of our humans, and then play a land, name human, go. Ring, draw more cards. Omnath trigger, the fairy, bounce our Aether Vial that's on 3 back to our hand. Plays the ring, draws another card. All right, attack for 7, no blocks. Aether Vial, trigger, go up to 2 counters. We've drawn a Noble, that's not good. All right, send both of these at Teferi. Swing. All right, play Aether Vial, play Noble Hierarch, play land, name, human, Pass. Opponent fetches. Triggers Omnath. Well, they do only have 2.5 minutes left, so it is possible we can clock them out. Swing here, no blocks. Verdict. All right, well, that's going to take them longer to actually kill us, so I'm fine with them verdicting. Plays a new Omnath. Plays a land, shock, trigger. The only reason for them to shock that would be to play Halfling. Yep. All right, Vials go on the stack. Put both of them up. We've drawn Malcontents, so I'll just pass it back to them. All right, they are at drawing another card with the ring. Combat, swing with both, activate Vial, put Malcontents into play, shoot them for 1, block the Halfling to trade with it. All right, we're at 9. Vials on the stack. It's that one, so yes to that one, no to the other one. We have drawn Thalia's Lieutenant, pass the turn. Ring trigger, drawing with the ring, playing Teferi, bouncing the ring. All right, Vial in Thalia's Lieutenant to block them. Leyline Binding, sure. All right, we go to 5. They cast Fury, and they're going to have enough time left. Clean up, discarding something. All right, Aether Vials on the stack, ticking neither up. What do we draw? A Noble, so cast Noble. Pass the turn. And then they just need any removal spell to kill this. Renin 6. Ping the Noble, and then they're going to win with less than 30 seconds on the clock. All right, well, only 2 and 3 with humans. We finally got to see what Horn of Gondor does, and I did like it. I don't know if this exact list is correct. There were some humans that I probably would want in the list, like Lavinia isn't even in the sideboard. I would probably want Lavinia somewhere. But other than that, yeah, it's humans, same old humans. I think Mantis Rider is probably out of date at this point. And I'm not sure about this weird plan, like 1 of Recruiter, 1 of Reflector Mage, 2 Malcontents. That seems odd. Ultimately, though, probably fine overall.